I gotta be more serious, y'all, for real.
We're live. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Check in with us. Let me know you're here. We are going to be recapping Insecure, the season finale. There was so much to chew on. So we have a nice crowd for the finale. Just gonna wait for some of your messages to pop up to let me know that you're here if you're out there. So while we're waiting for people to pop up, let me introduce the panel tonight. Hey, Privy. We have Season. Hey, is it Naomi? I hate to say people's name wrong.
No.
No, not you. I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at the people.
Oh, forgive me.
So we have Season, we have Monica, we have Shay, we have Noelle, and then me, of course. So we are going to chat with y'all about. You said you're not ready, girl, or Privy? Is he? I don't know the gender from that. I'm assuming it's girl, but correct me if I'm wrong. Pantalomian. Hey. No Emmy. Oh, no Emmy. Okay, got it. Thank you for correcting me. Daniel, phonetically. I appreciate y'all don't be seeing me on these lives, but I'm always like, can you pronounce that phonetically? Type that out phonetically for me. Hey, sweet sporty chick. So we got people on YouTube that have checked in, people on Twitter. I'm sure somebody from Facebook will check in. So listen, we're going to be talking Insecure, the season finale. If you haven't watched it yet, there's going to be spoilers. So this is your chance to hop off, or if you're one of those people that you don't care, if you know what's going on, you just like to watch it, that's fine too. Privy saying the episode is too much. All right, so ladies, I'm going to start off how we always do. And for the record, I'm going to be looking at your comments, moderating the discussion. We're all going to be talking. And so chat amongst yourselves, respond to what we're saying, and then I'll, type response or I'll mention things. But anyways, so ladies, this is the big finale. The entire season has led up to this moment. Let's just go around, everybody. I think most of you have drinks, right? Noelle, I don't know if you have a drink, but how about this? You got one? Okay, so if this episode was a thumbs up, take a drink. If it was a thumbs down, then you can't sip right now. Okay, Monica, you did not take a sip.
That was
and just keep it brief. We're gonna walk through what happened throughout the episode, but just overall, why was this episode like not hitting for you?
I mean, there's just still obviously so many avenues that we have not. There's no closure with different dynamics, different relationships. Then we had stuff come out of left field, so it's all over the place. But we'll dig into that a little bit more, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely were this season like built up to this only to like leave us hanging with a lot of cliffhangers, but it's cliffhangers that are kind of to be expected at the end of the season to kind of keep us coming back for the next season. So I'm not entirely mad at the cliffhangers, but I do agree with you that, like, for instance, the Tiffany plot came way out of left field. I mean, it's not out of left field in terms of what they discussed earlier, but at least left field in terms of that being the time that they choose to focus on it in this season finale. That was a little left field for me. Okay, Noelle, you're the newest person to the panel, so give us your overall thoughts.
So my overall thoughts, I believe what Issa was trying to do was tie in a bit of that mental illness and that police brutality. So she was kind of putting in some themes. I did find it to be really eventful for the time frame of the show. I'm like, okay, this is something you could do in an hour.
Right.
So I did find that very artful, how you had these really dynamic plots that kind of played out full circle. And, I did feel like I kind of got a 2-for-1, maybe a little bit, but I appreciate that she was like, let me put some like strong themes in there as well, which I could see some people saying, it might've been a little too jammed up, but I know it's a tough job to probably do that all together. So,
yeah,
but I enjoyed it, and the cliffhangers worked for me. And I also enjoyed the fact that relationship between her and Molly, it's something that's to be valued, and you could see they kept coming back to it. It was not like this, like, let's just be impetuous and forget about it. And I appreciated that as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, to your point, there are so many heavy thematic points that made it in here, which is a little bit of a departure from the rest of the season, where they really kind of tackled one thing at a time, one person at a time throughout much of the season. And they jammed a lot in there, which I like, because a lot of times my issue with Insecure is the pacing. I'm like, okay, we're 17 minutes in and nothing has really happened. So I think they definitely jammed a lot in. Shayla, what is your thoughts overall?
I agree with you and Noel. I thought the cliffhangers were really well done. And yeah, no, I liked it. That's great.
Season, you've been making all these faces. So what you got on your mind?
I like the episode. Y'all know since we started this, I've been asking for a postpartum episode. Give me something with Tiffany and this baby because they've been dropping gems this whole season, and it's somebody with a baby. Well, he my baby, but you know he finna be too. But I know how hard that those first few months in that first year was, and I'm like, if they miss this opportunity for me, I'm gonna really be disappointed. So, aside from the police episode scene, I was with it. I like this whole episode.
Now, I did have a comment from Sweet Sporty Chick, and she says, wish they showed how to help Tiffany with her postpartum.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are the moms. So do you think that, you know, I appreciate what they did in terms of exploring how you could just need to get away, but they kind of left it there. And, you know, she was the one apologizing and, you know, they were very sympathetic and supportive, but there really wasn't much of like, okay, what now? Do you think that's something that they're kind of setting it up to explore later? Or do you think that that's just kind of like a little bit of a drop in the ball? Shayla, you go first on that one.
I hope that they're going to pick it back up because I felt it was very one-sided. I felt like it was very much shown from the perspective of the father, and he was almost somewhat, even though he was like, oh, I wish that I could have helped more, I felt like he was coming off a little bit like the victim or like the martyr of it, where like he was like looking for sympathy when it should have been more focused on, okay, like these are the signs, I missed it, but how are we going to move forward and get her help? And what is it that she needs help with, you know, if there's something specific.
Right. Season, what do you think?
I think for me personally, I took the focus for me wasn't as much on him. I stepped back and looked at the bigger picture, which is you can be married, you can have your cute little house, you can have a husband who adores you and is there and is helpful. And that still might not mean shit. You still might, it's so many layers to it. Like how he made a comment, like, I offer help and she puts up a wall or whatever. Like that shit is so real. So for me, the bigger picture was, anybody is susceptible to this. Even a woman with a doting husband and this perfect life, like we all go, like a woman in her body and what they go through during pregnancy and delivery and postpartum, like none of us are excluded from that, regardless of our home life and situation. And furthermore, for me personally, this whole postpartum shit is bullshit. Everybody listening, but they not listening. So that's a really hit home for me, because I mean I didn't want to disappear until like a month ago. Like, let me get a fucking hotel. But you know, but yeah, I really like that part. But I just looked at the bigger picture. I wasn't concentrating that much on the husband.
Yeah, Noel, what do you think about that? About how they handled the postpartum discussion or theme?
Well, actually, hearing Season's commentary kind of opened my mind up more, because, you know, I'm not a mother yet, you know, God willing, but I think when you are a mother, you know, you probably just interpret that, or you're just picking up on different things. You know how sometimes as women, we just can see it with a stronger lens than guys, of course. So it's almost like you being a mother gives you this additional third eye into the experience. I do like the fact, I know that it definitely has to go into delve more, but I'm like, oh gosh, imagine jamming something else in on that episode.
Yeah.
I think it did help kind of explain, because, you know, at the block party scene, we saw how cavalier Tiffany was, just about like, wasn't trying to go home, was not trying to go be with the child. She's like, can you just go take care of it? So you could see that she had this flippant sort of nature about it. And you know, you're almost like, you're like, dang, is that how she's about to be as a mother? You know, or is this going to be her attitude? So I think that was her way of maybe trying to circle back to like, oh yeah, let me explain what was up with Tiffany actually. Cause I had not thought about postpartum. And then I was trying to think about her personality throughout. And I'm like, why is she being like this as a mother? And, you know, it's clear that I wasn't thinking of the postpartum aspect. So yeah, it's been revealing.
Yeah, and I think that that's why it's so important to tackle these things and, you know, to help open up people's minds. That's why we have this chat too, because we all have different life experiences.
Mhm.
And so I think that's great that, you know, that we're having this discussion. Privy says she had postpartum twice. Nashawn says Tiffany's storyline is going to continue because this is the third time they showed her struggle. Let's hope that. Gorgeously Made said, I was waiting on the postpartum episodes. This event, as well as Kelly stepping in so much more evident. Yeah, so there were definitely some nuggets throughout the season indicating that this was kind of coming. I think maybe it would have been better served having its own episode. But I think that, you know, they dealt with it well with the time that they had. It could have been a little less gimmicky with the whole LA Live thing and all the other kind of stuff. But I think that some of that stuff was really more of a device to show kind of the interactions between Issa and Molly. So let's go on ahead and let's rewind to opening scene where
Lawrence gets the job.
Lawrence gets the job. So he's gonna be a San Francisco nigga.
Right, Roni.
What was your read on that situation? Because I mean, you know, Lawrence was like, I got the job, and Issa was like, yay. And then there was a little awkwardness in terms of discussing what this means for their relationship. And so what was your read in terms of what was that about? I mean, like Issa was really gung-ho, and Lawrence flat out stated that he wanted it to work as well. But there was something a little off in his energy. That at least that's what I picked up. Did anybody else pick up on that, or you think I'm seeing it?
Yes.
Okay, Noel, what do you think?
It was that opening scene. There was something about the exchange with San Francisco, and it wasn't that he wasn't, it didn't seem like he was being insincere, but it seemed like there was, maybe it was like the idea that he had an inclination that there was something else there. But in terms of what else was there, well, I'll wait till we get to that. But
Okay.
Well, I'll just say quickly, my mother said that she reads the blogs, and she said that had already been predicted.
Yeah.
And usually I'm intuitive, and I was like, really? I was like, that has not crossed my mind at all. So then when it went down, I'm like, dang. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Monica, what do you think? I mean, do you think that it was like hesitance on his side? You know, they do have that history with Issa cheating. I hate to bring it up, yeah, because I think that she has grown leaps and bounds from that. But did you get the feeling from him that he was really on board with this whole long distance thing, or was the energy a little bit more of nervousness about what Issa was going to say? What was your take on that?
Definitely think it was the nervousness of what she was going to say, because I think when he initially brought it up that he was going to interview in San Francisco, it kind of was like he kind of hesitated to even tell her. And then, you know, they kind of joked about like the trolley nigga thing or whatever. So then coming back and telling her like, oh, I got the job and this and that, you know, like then you put things into, you know, perspective, like, okay, San Francisco is only 45 minutes away, or, you know, it's not very far. And, you know, her flexibility is in, you know, enabling her to, you know, catch a flight or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it just, I think it was that like he was hesitant, and then he saw that like, okay, she's on board with, you know, trying to still make things work.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Now, Shayla, you were shaking your head in agreement, and Susan was shaking her head in disagreement. So, Shayla, I'm going to start with you. What was your read on that?
I definitely thought he was nervous as well. And I kind of picked up on like maybe he was kind of putting her like in the meantime box, you know, that person that you kind of keep in the meantime until you kind of get your sea legs together in a new area, in a new place, and then you kind of move on. So I didn't think he was very sincere in it. I didn't think that he was serious. I just felt that it was just like kind of going into the unknown, but with somebody that he has history with and roots with.
Season, what do you think?
Boom, check it. That nigga was looking for an out because he been done knew Condola was pregnant and thought that Issa was gonna hear that he had to move to San Francisco and was gonna be like Deuces, and then he wouldn't have to tell her he had a motherfucking baby on the way. That's what I think happened. I know I'm making up a whole history background for this character, but I think he knew Condola was pregnant. He running. He wanted that job. He wanted it before, but now he really wanted because he don't want to be bothered with this damn baby. And then and he was really trying to read her like, damn, I don't want her to be cool with this. He did not want her to be cool with this. That's why he kind of let on like, can you be serious for a minute? So he could really gauge where she was. He wanted an out. He was looking for an out. He was hoping that she would be like, good luck out there, my nigga. It's been real.
Dang, I didn't even think of it like that.
Okay, Caesar, you are setting the comments on fire.
You know that bitch was pregnant.
You do have some people that are like, good point, didn't think of that. Some people, but you have somebody's like, nah, he's
I've been so apprehensive. What would be the tea? This nigga should be celebrating. He has the job of his dreams. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that there's a reason to be. I understand why, you have a little bit of feelings of being torn because he had been seeking the whole job thing before him and Issa had that deep conversation before they started up again. And you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And so I understand why you're like, well, this is really awesome for me, but how is this going to work with us? So I mean, there are multiple ways of viewing it. I don't think that you're crazy though for what you're saying because
I know I ain't crazy.
Huh?
I know I ain't crazy.
Oh my God.
Well, I wanted.
Let me
I don't want to step
read
out
some
of
of these
turn.
comments. Let me read some of these comments. Let's say, okay, so he says, Lola says, I don't think he was hesitant because he didn't want her to go to San Fran, but because they're just new again. They are new again. They have history. They're still trying to figure each other out. But I love the transparency between her and Nate, which I'll get to as well in a second. Purvey says his approach sucked. He didn't explicitly state he wanted her initially. That was a little, he kind of waited for her to kind of take the lead in terms of saying, I want us to work, and then he kind of followed suit. So that I picked up on that. Let's see. All right, so I think I'm caught it up. Oh, Jess Kev says my spirit animal. He was definitely looking for an out. So that's for you. Okay, we're gonna get to the pregnancy stuff too. We're gonna get to the all right. So okay, so now we've dealt with Lawrence. Let's talk about Nathan. So Nathan has his barbershop. Him and Issa have this, friendship, which looks like a genuine friendship. And she's kind of scoping out his barbershop for a location. What do you think about their interaction? Where do you think they're going? Because certainly if shit hits the fan with Lawrence, obviously Nathan still, at least in my opinion, has feelings for her. So, she kind of has a good thing going. She's totally transparent with Lawrence that Nathan is her friend. She's totally transparent with Nathan that Lawrence is who she's with. So I kind of feel like she has a good thing going, a good little plan B. What do you think, Shayla?
I think it was great that she was transparent, although she didn't really have to be. I don't think she owed anyone an explanation of how she was moving. And I feel like it almost may have set her up for like eating her words later a little bit. So if I were Issa, I wouldn't have said anything.
Monica, you were all co-signing. How you really feel?
You know what? I applaud her for being transparent so she don't get caught up at a basketball game. Anyways, but I
not that that's ever happened to anybody.
Ever. But anywho, I really like her and Nathan. I really like her and Nathan's friendship. Like it's a thriving friendship that even though like she's made it clear like she is with, she's with what is it? What are we calling him?
Lawrence.
What is it?
Trolley nigga.
She's
Trolley nigga. He was the trolley nigga. Baby on the way, baby on the trolley nigga.
Oh my God.
Baby. Anywho, that she, that their friendship is like she said what she said about her being in her feelings, him dipping, and then he said what he said. And it's just like, okay, we were very much intuitive as to what our relationship is, and now we're gonna move from this, move accordingly,
Yeah.
But you can definitely still see the flirtiness within those two, Nathan and Issa. And then as far as Lawrence, yeah, I don't know, bro.
Good luck with that.
Noel, so what do you think? Do you think that it's possible for Issa and Nathan to just keep it platonic, just keep it friends? Or do you think that this is like, he said, I don't want to make your life more complicated, but is that possible to have this situation not be complicated? What do you think?
I mean, to me, I know it's like a very common thing, but I think this comes down to the love that Issa has for Lawrence and versus like what she has for Nathan. Like Issa's not in love with Nathan, and that's very clear.
Right.
It's clear from it's very clear. And I don't think he necessarily loves her per se. I think he could, but when you're in love with someone, and I am, when your heart is like, your heartstrings are totally pulled to someone else, you really don't. You could find other people attractive and like flirt and joke, but you're just like, you're not going to necessarily be fulfilled. And that's why I'm like, that's one of the reasons I'm like, I don't think Lawrence was necessarily looking for an out, because it's like, he's already come to her. You know what I mean? They've already separated. They've already kind of come back together full circle. Well, they're working on the full circle part. So I think just the love that Issa has for Lawrence will always keep some sort of, some things in place.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that they can be platonic without any complications. I do think eventually a complication will arise, love or not, because let's face it, sex is involved, it's a wrap.
Right. Season, what do you think?
Okay. Just to touch real quick on thinking Lawrence wasn't looking for her out. Now we know, right? Niggas love to flip it. So when they know they coming with you,
ass niggas.
when they know they coming to you with some raggedy shit, they want you to be the one to be like, nah, I'm out or whatever. So keep that in mind. I've been approached with some raggedy shit, and I've been approached with some raggedy shit on the horizon. Like it's not there. They not trying to let me know yet, but they trying to start a little fight, whatever. But so that's that on that. As far as I think the final scene indicates where Issa is really gonna go to for comfort. So with that being said, I do think her and Nathan, because he trying to get this money, he just bought a shop. He's serious about an event space. So I think they're really gonna try and work together professionally. We saw what happened with Issa and Condola trying to work professionally, and that burned to the ground. But I get hustler vibes from both Issa and Nathan. So and then if he's really serious about his mental health, then he is gonna just try and keep things simple, and let's just get this money, Issa. And when because he gonna be the last person she tell this nigga on some bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't think she gonna rush to that, but I'm hoping the final scene of the episode really indicates, like, I just think that's where my mind is headed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at the course of all of these seasons, Nathan probably more than any single character was probably the biggest person to immediately impact Issa's ambition and help her expand and believe in what she's capable of doing. When he came in, he kind of gave her the inspiration. And I don't want to credit him, but if you think about it, I mean, he kind of was very instrumental in why she decided to do her own thing with the block party. And so this professional relationship and personal relationship certainly makes a whole lot of sense. So let's move on to Molly and Andrew. Who didn't see that coming crashing down?
Who didn't see that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
I saw that.
I said last week he finna be gone.
Mhm.
Okay, so what stood out to you the most? So we have the mixer, right? Caesar said, "Who is that fine ass co-worker that Molly have?" I wonder if
Straight up.
I I
Oh.
wonder if being around, her coworkers, seeing how Black they are, the whole interracial thing. I wonder if that kind of factored into his discomfort. That was something that kind of popped in my mind. I don't know if it was a thing, but it did pop into my mind. But he just seemed real salty. He's been very gracious throughout the whole season, but he kind of seems like he is done and fed up with her bullshit. Shayla, why don't you start us off? What do you think?
Well, I think that I don't think he was salty about the coworker. I definitely think he saw it being very one-sided, where it was just Molly's way or the highway. And there were certain things that wouldn't fly if he brought it up, but when she does it, then it's like nothing. So I definitely felt like he was just coming to terms with like, it's only her way.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that she's obviously like everything on her terms. But Noel, I mean, do you see where he made a real like transparent effort to check her on her shit? Like not like brushing it off and not like being cool, because ultimately it's kind of, in my opinion, unfair to sit up there and go along, or what do they say? You go along to get along, and then you spring it on somebody like, oh, I've been dealing with all your shit for months and I've been super resentful and pissed off about it, but I'm just gonna tell you now and break up. Like, I don't really think that's fair, but that's my take on it. What is your take on it?
My take on it was, I think Andrew probably really reflected on the fact that, dang, you know what I mean? This is my brother. And it's almost like, yes, there was a disagreement, but if we're going to try to move forward, I need to know that you're not going to be this, really difficult, dogmatic character when it comes time to like, look, let's discuss this, let's squash this. So I think what was really happening is, Andrew, sometimes in life you just make a decision and you're like, I really don't want to work this out. I actually do want to end this because I feel that this is going to be something this is just her nature. And I'm not about to be putting that much energy into trying to make sure everyone's getting along. And to me, I mean, I like his style. I really do like his style. So I think he probably just really thought like, Molly is who Molly is, and this is not. They also don't have chemistry. They really didn't have chemistry throughout the season. They don't have chemistry. I mean, you know what I mean? Like Issa has bomb chemistry with her dudes, but yeah. I was just like, they don't really have chemistry. So I think Andrew just made a decision. And I think as women, we make that decision quickly, and people, you just have to kind of honor it. But when a man does it, I do see how it can come off as sort of like, dang, he wasn't even really trying to give a chance. But I think he just knew like, nah, this isn't my type of person.
Yeah. Monica, what is your take? I mean, I totally agree with Noel's point in the sense of like, if somebody's not for you, they're not for you. There's no explanation required. You don't have to build up to it. I mean, you can determine that at any time. What is your take on the Molly Andrew situation?
I definitely think Molly was trying to force it more than it needed to be type situation. They didn't, I mean, I get it, it's a show, it's they're acting, they didn't have any chemistry, at least you can find that chemistry for the screen, but I mean it just was so awkward to watch them interact in different scenes, like seeing them on vacation, or even seeing them I don't know, at her mixer for work, and so it just was like awkward conversations. I feel like there was never a genuine conversation. I feel like all their conversations ended up in a fight or a disagreement or just something that's just like, but I feel like for her, she was definitely trying to make it work because she's a woman of a certain age that wants to get married, that wants to do this, wants to do that, and so it's just like, but you can't, no, that shit's gonna blow up in your face sooner than later. So
somebody said Kev said Molly had chemistry with Dro, but I'm gonna keep sipping. They did have chemistry. I do remember that chemistry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get some chemistry with a single man, not just with a married man. Season though, you had.
Oh yeah, they did have chemistry. Her colleague was fine.
What are your thoughts? You seem to kind of furrow your brow when she said she's of a certain age and things like that. What's your take on the Andrew and Molly situation?
Oh, I mean, I saw this coming a mile away, first and foremost. But my thing with the show is I can't tell how much fucking time has gone by. So has he been really aggravated with her for like 2 weeks or 2 months? I'm confused. So either way, I'm happy that he stood up for himself or whatever, but I do still feel like he left the ball in her court. to be like, you know, what do you want to do here? What are you fighting for? But just in general, like, again, I am not team Molly essentially, but I do like the way he handled her. I like the way he dealt with her. And I do feel like he was slowly but surely ramping up in terms of his opinion and how stern he wanted to be with her, or how, you know, how demanding he wanted to be. And that's what this episode was like, this is it. Like, bitch, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna get what I want. And he put the ball in her court. So now he might end up with the relationship he really wants with her, if that's what she chooses to pursue. But I mean, I think they still. It was a cliffhanger, but I think he's gonna stick around. I think he is, but her healing is gonna have to start with people that came before him. So
yeah. Let me go to some of these comments. Let's see. Manisha says Molly didn't see it. Andrew did what he had to do. Andrew was sick and tired. I'm surprised they last that long. Please, a deaf, blind, and mute person.
Dating, you guys. I'm confused.
He said the same thing to her that she said to Issa. Ooh, catch that tea. I want Andrew to stay, but with a new bae. No, we don't need to see Andrew with a new bae. This is too predictable. Anyone watch the Insta Live, Issa Rae saying, oh, it's weird everybody hates Molly. Yeah, she was written as an awful character this season. I'm surprised she thinks that that's surprising. I don't think him being over Molly has anything to do with her Black co-workers. Nah, he wasn't uncomfortable at the work party. Lack of reciprocity is the issue for sure. Molly is oblivious. I do agree with that. She didn't pick up on any of the signs because she's self-absorbed. He asked, what was she fighting for? I thought it was interesting that he regurgitated the same words that Molly told Issa last episode. Let's see. He was tired of Molly. He kept trying to say something. Let's see. Molly just wants to win. That's it. Andrew wants out. How convenient for Molly to meet up with Issa now. Who's the user, Molly? Interesting. But learning IT was what he said. Yep, the brother was it for him. Let's see. Molly is chasing happiness, and that is something that doesn't work in life. Molly totally dropped the ball with Andrew as a swirler. Leave those crazy antics behind. Play nice. What? What's that mean? As a swirler, leave the what? What you talk about? Gorgeous.
Black woman. Like, we the only one with shenanigans.
Okay, so if you swirl, I guess you gotta leave the shenanigans behind. Leave the shenanigans behind, period. But you know what? Let's see. I think this was her breaking point, realizing she's the issue. That's why she reached out to Issa, not to use her, in my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna get to that, figure out what precipitated the Issa and Molly final powwow that ended off the episode. Molly is in love with finally having a relationship that has lasted longer than any other relationship, but she definitely didn't love him. And I think that stood out in terms of Andrew asking, what are you fighting for? Because a lot of the rationale that she was talking about was, well, we've gotten this far and we've spent all this time, and time is not enough of a reason to stick with somebody, right? Let's see. All right.
Yeah, she was trying to prove everyone wrong, I think.
Yeah. Well, and at this point, she has no successful relationships. Her coworkers hate her. She's falling out with Issa. Andrew is like the last thing that she's kind of hanging on to. Well, okay, I'll say Kelly and Tiffany, but they're kind of off doing their own thing, focused on Simone, who's Tiffany's daughter. So yeah, let's see. All right, I think I'm caught up. All right. Real deal says, I think Molly is a settler. I don't know if you mean like she settles for less, or what do you mean by settler? Mean like she wants to settle down? You have to clarify that.
Settles. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, right. I need some clarification. Okay, so let's talk about. So we've gone through all that. The final topic. Condola is preggers. That was super Tyler Perry for me. I really was like, really. That is so cliche. Are you serious? Like, everybody was saying it in the blogs, and I was like, no fucking way. No. Pregnant. That doesn't even make sense. How did that go with Insecure? Insecure is not a kind of show. Ugh. And then it was like, Condola is pregnant. I was like, oh, I'm wrong as shit. I completely overestimated the show. So Noelle, did you say it was your mom who had read the blogs and saw that, or who?
Yes. and we were sitting in the kitchen eating some bomb pound cake that she had made. And so we're talking about it. And so my idea was, well, so basically the comment I made was, you know, how dating today is, you know, you're on a date with someone that you're in love with, but you're steady still, you're still texting, talking about you might meet up with someone else. Like, so I was kind of making a little bit of a start, because that's, you know, of course, I think everyone's heart kind of sank, like, damn, you over here texting Condola and you're here with Issa. So I just thought that they were on some booty call stuff. Honestly, I was just like, you know, maybe the sex was bomb and they're still, but I was like, why does she still keep hitting him up? But my mother was like, why would she keep hitting him up? And I was like, maybe because she was just trying to tap. I guess I was thinking like a guy or something. So when she said pregnant, I was like, no. I was like exactly what you were thinking, Reese. Like, I was like, that's awesome. So then when he came in, and also to Season's point, I don't believe that Lawrence was aware of the pregnancy when he saw her at the market, because he was a bit, I mean, it was a little bit offbeat, but there was a little bit of a jovialness, versus when he came back later that day, I felt like it was like he was sort of just processing the news.
Yeah, I don't think Lawrence has a poker face, so he has anxiety and stress.
He's fine too. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Season. Okay, I'm gonna circle back to you, Season. Shayla, the pregnant. Well, before I wait, I just want to read off this comment because it's funny. Condola being pregnant was predictable. I think, but I was still hoping they wouldn't go there. Melanie and Derwin all over again. That was Melanie and Derwin situation.
That was.
And Melanie was like, "May the best bitch win, bitches." So
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna circle back around to "May the best bitch win." That's how I'm going in this whole segment about that. But Shayla, what do you think about this reveal about Condola being pregnant? How does that change things to you, or how does that not change things?
It was very messy. I think that for me just sealed the deal between hopes of him or Lawrence and Issa ever like reuniting again. Like she said, this is too much, and it was a lot. I mean, yeah, I don't see them ever like recovering from this.
Monica, what do you think? I mean, it was a cliffhanger. That is a lot to process. Oh, girl was smoking some trees, getting high, putting 5 on it. No L approves. But you know, what do you think? Do you think that this spells the end for Issa and Lawrence, or do you think that it just very, very much complicates things?
You know, break babies happen all the time. So no, I don't, to be honest, I don't think this is the end. I mean, it wasn't like they were broken up for a week. I mean, to Season's point, I don't know if they was broken up for a month or 2 years. Like, I mean, they've obviously been broken up for a couple of seasons now. And, you know, I think I mean, I don't want to say this is the end, because they do have a lot of chemistry. They have a lot of, you know, they were together forever. But it's a lot for her to process. Like, he can't expect her to be like, bet I'll be stepmama, like, you know, that type of shit. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, I think if it was like, you know, a jump off that got pregnant while they were together, I'll be like, no, nigga, fuck you, no, this, that, and the other. But I think that they've come together this time and realized that, you know, the grass isn't always greener, and that they like genuinely love each other or care for each other, whatever their dynamic is. But I think we'll see them back together. As much as I didn't want them to really be together, I'm like, maybe I kind of do want them to be together.
So Season, what is your read on? I'm sure it's colorful. What is your verdict on Condola being pregnant?
Yes.
First of all, bitch, shout out to Condola. Have your baby, girl. Okay. Don't let nobody stop you. This is you and your baby against the world. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. That was fucked up that he asked her, is it mine? Nigga, you was over there fixing her sink and shit, having game night with her besties, and you like, woo, woo, woo. You know, so fuck Lawrence for that. Okay, y'all missing all these fuckboy signs. I don't know what y'all watch. Y'all must not be watching the same TV show as me.
No. I've been saying that Lawrence has fuckboy tendencies. Big
Okay.
I've been saying that.
So he know
A lot
Lawrence know
quicker
what
than
he
those.
was doing. He know what he was doing or whatever. Which why I go back to say he been knew that girl was pregnant. But anyway, shout out to Condola. Her hair was popping. She was looking real cute. And that's
Fun.
she went over there. She went over there with her get my nigga back outfit on. You know, she was like my.
Nah.
She was like, I'm finna get him back. I'm looking all motherly and like soft.
Godly, right?
You know, I think that it's interesting.
Like money. I don't need your
Condoleezza always look like money. Condoleezza always look like money. She got her shit together, Chair. She,
okay.
but you know, I think it's due diligence to ask a person that you're no longer in a relationship with is the baby mom. I don't think that's totally off out of bounds because y'all ain't together like that no more. You don't know what the hell somebody been doing. And her friend, in his defense, her friend did say that she was his little fun boy. Okay, so I'm not sure he's totally off base there. However, you know, I don't know. I see
That's the next day question. You know what I'm saying? That's not like in the moment, is it mine question? Like that's some asshole shit or whatever. Because it's clear that Condola got her shit together. However, you know, where my head went, where I went, it's like, okay, I think Issa may try the whole long distance thing, but now he's gonna have to split his time between Issa and this baby and Condola. And Issa's first thought was, oh, you finna get back with Condola. So now that's in the back of her head. Now if she does move forward with Lawrence, she's gonna have this long distance relationship. When he does come to town, he's gonna have to be with Condola and the baby and da 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 da.
Well,
Then she just saw what Tiffany went through with her husband and how intricate and deep that was. I don't think Issa gonna go for it, or if she do, it ain't gonna last.
But I think that the baby is going to be the reason why Lawrence doesn't actually go to San Francisco, because he doesn't want to be the deadbeat long distance dad. So he'll probably stick around, and that kind of helps in that plot device. Let me go to some of these comments though. Let's see. Zenobia.
Fuck these kids. I'm just
Zenobia
I love kids.
Zenobia says HBO tried to show Black men negatively. Are you going to keep it? What the hell?
Which
the scene with Issa on the balcony was epic. Y'all remember Bank Teller Babe when she said to Lawrence, "You're doing good for yourself. No kids." Laughing my ass off. The irony and foreshadowing. Let's see. What if Condola is lying and it's someone else's baby? Remember Lawrence told her that he would still be with Issa. This baby is a tie to Lawrence. We don't know the time frame. Let's see. Issa has such a forgiving heart. She does. I've been saying Issa's a little bit of a pushover. I think Issa needs time to process, but it's not the end for them. It's funny that they did the pregnancy storyline just like we already talked about the game, where Jay Ellis was in the reboot of the game. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if the relationship should be salvaged after that. This hashtag disappointed, hashtag pissed, hashtag seriously, hashtag done with insecure, hashtag it just became the game. How do you really feel? Okay, let's see. Somebody says, hey, you gotta ask. She did look motherly and cozy. Phoenix Walker says she has that scandal suit on. She giving us
Ivory. Yep.
Olivia Pope did just have an abortion on national TV though. Let's not forget that. But let's talk about the choice aspect of it, because it was interesting. I don't know if you caught that. It sounds like she had an abortion with her husband. And so she's like, I'm not doing that shit twice. But she says that Lawrence, you know, is free to you know, be as involved or not involved as he wants to be. Do you think, is this the kind of conversations that are just standard conversations in 2020? Is this something, you know, Caesar, you already said have your baby, sis. Any other thoughts from you ladies on that aspect of their exchange?
I mean, I didn't have a baby with my ex-husband, and there was no like scares or abortions involved. It's just like I knew that nigga wasn't it. So yeah. I mean, I didn't get abortion tease from that statement. But I'm also a divorcee remarried with a beautiful baby boy. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I didn't get a push and tease in that comment.
Noel, what are your thoughts?
Well, I would say, that it's good that you raised, like, is this a 2020 dialogue? Because I'm like, in so many ways it is. I mean, I have friends that are definitely like, with children, some that are married with children. And then it's like, I live in DC. It's like I'm around a lot of city people, like people that are career focused and whatnot. So it's like we sit around and talk. I mean, I'm 35, so we do sit around and talk about, dang, like if you're not like married or like totally in love with someone, like how do you still want to have a child naturally before you maybe try something else? It's like, what do you do? So Condola's probably like, look, I'm pregnant. This is actually a blessing. Like, this is how it's coming to me. So, and I want to be in a setting where it's like, I don't necessarily have to be married, but I want to be with a partner that I want to father my child. But I could see myself, let's just say how life goes. Yeah. It's not a conversation that is far-fetched to me at all. Right. And, but that's funny how you mentioned, like, someone mentioned being motherly and trying to get him back. I almost think Condola knows, like, Lawrence's heart belongs with Issa. That's the reason we're not together in the first place. Yeah. But I also know that sometimes when someone has a child, when someone is the mother of a child, it's like it creates this bond between the man and the woman that could also make another woman jealous, because it's like, you gave him his child. Yeah, I've heard it interpreted that way. Yeah. So I don't know how true it is, but I've heard it interpreted like, you gave him his child, so he's going to be close to you and have a sense of love for you always.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Drake had a child on me.
Girl. My heart still broke for you. That a porn star?
Right? Stripper porn star. I mean, either way, there's always going to be that connection. Whether those two ended up the way they ended up or whatever, there's always going to be some sort of love for a child, a dad and his child's mother. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I forgave Drake, but he just doesn't call me back. So.
Well, I do think that that Condola wants better for herself than to be like a sympathy relationship, or to be like, oh, you're only with me because the baby.
A baby mama.
And so I don't think that Issa has much to worry about in that regard of like Condola and him getting back together just for the sake of the baby. But I mean, at least from Condola's end now, will Lawrence comes with it, I don't know, but he seemed really devastated and just in shock about the situation. So we'll have to see how that works out. Okay, so to close this up, there are a lot of reactions. I'll read off a couple of them. Rachel says, I could not be with Dude no matter what, no matter how much I love him. I think Issa needs to be with Nathan. Issa walk away from this. Daniel says, to those wondering, I'm a white guy that likes Black women. Okay, Daniel, who was wondering? I'm trying to figure out who was wondering that. Did somebody ask you about that? Or did you come up with that? But we appreciate the announcement.
The love, I guess.
Oh, okay. So Daniel says, what show are we referring to? I'm all confused. But so he just on this. So Daniel is tuned in because it's a bunch of Black women.
Hey, Daniel.
He
don't know what the hell we talking about. We talking about Insecure, Daniel. Welcome to the live chat. Okay. I don't give out cookies for people being here, but I guess we appreciate you being here. So okay. He's saying too many red flags. Why do people think Condola got herself together? Condola does have her stuff together. I didn't think that was the question.
Look, players fuck up.
Players fuck up. Issa was taking that plan B after plan B after plan B. She ain't got her shit together, but she ain't got no baby, no break baby. And Condola, who's supposed to have it all together, does. Ain't that interesting? But like you said, players fuck up season. Okay. All right, let's go on ahead and let's wrap this up. We've been on here for quite a while, and I hate to keep you ladies. I know y'all got other shit to do. But let's just talk about the final thing. So we're left with a cliffhanger. Let me just recap. We're left with a cliffhanger on Molly and Andrew. We don't know what's gonna happen. Andrew says, what the hell are you fighting for? We didn't get Molly's answer. I don't think that their plot is done yet, because for fuck's sake, it's gonna be a lot to have Molly and start all over again with a whole nother dude, another season. All right, so that's that. We're left with a cliffhanger in terms of what Issa is going to do with Lawrence and his new with child situation that he has going on. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But what we do know is that Molly and Issa, with their everything go, as Monica says all the time, from sugar to shit, have found themselves back together. You know, Molly was really on her high horse last episode. Oh, well, maybe the person you are and the person that I am don't really go together. Now, look who's calling her bitch. You became real humble after your man to drop kick your ass to the curb or says you ain't shit. Now you and Issa are back talking. Now I'm just gonna say before I go to y'all, I'm team black woman winning. I'm team Issa winning. And even though I've had issues with Molly this episode, I still want. I mean, this season, I want Molly to win. So there's a part of me that's really disappointed that everything that happened boiled down to these two friends that have a rocky relationship themselves coming back together because everything has gone from sugar to shit in terms of their relationships with men. Steven, I'm gonna start you off. What is your reaction to Issa and Molly coming back together at the same restaurant that Issa ran away from Molly at?
I mean, again, I looked at the bigger picture. Who do we really have at the end of the day? When shit is going good, when shit is going bad, when we need to talk, when we need to listen and just forget about our own shit, party, drink, bullshit, take shots, whatever. We have our girls. So I think that, I wasn't disappointed in any way to see her at the table with Molly. It's clear Molly is the one who reached out and asked her to be there. I don't care about what led up to that. It's just like, it's clear from watching both separate storylines, they needed somebody and they were going to be there for each other, and we all we got. So I had no issues with that final scene. I preferred that to her going to Nathan or her calling Lawrence back over or whatever the fuck. Like, we all we got, y'all. So I had no issues. And again, I'm not feeling Molly. I feel like I have current friendships and past friendships that really mirror that. But at the end of the day, like, man, if a bitch there for you, she there for you. Like, what can you do?
Right.
Sometimes like that's just the way it is. Men come and go, but when you have that friend that just gonna be there for you, what can you do? Gonna call that bitch up. So good job. Kudos to them. I hope they work it out.
So just before I go to the next person, is somebody, Yaga says, I agree, Season, but Learning IT says, yeah, but Molly reached out on her schedule, just like what Andrew said. Monica, do you think, Season says it doesn't matter. Monica, does it matter to you that it took this to bring them back together, or is it just, hey, they're back together in terms of talking and that's what matters? What's your take on that?
Short for me, I mean, pretty much what Season said, but to say it in a smaller, like I'm team sisterhood, team I fuck with you, team we may have had differences about X, Y, and Z. And if it's someone I really fuck with heavy and have been, and it is not a toxic person in my life, then I'm gonna, circle back, say what I need to say, and then hopefully move on, because it's like, there's no point in holding grudges, especially if it's someone that you, like I said, fuck with heavy. So
yeah, Shayla, what do you think? I mean, we didn't get a sense of what they talked about, which I thought was good, that it kind of left us that mystery. But what do you think? What was your read on that? It seemed like a reconciliation, but it might not have been reconciliation. It may have just been like, girl, I need to talk. What do you think?
No, I think that it took Molly, in a sense, getting knocked down a notch or so to really humble herself and, make that step to reaching out to Issa. I definitely think their body language, I was reading it at the table, it seemed very open. It seemed like picking up where they left off and just kind of managing and figuring out their relationship and their external relationships kind of together.
Yeah. Noel, we saw kind of Issa and Molly throughout the episode through like the Tiffany plot, kind of, super awkward, but then also kind of exchange these glances of like, damn, this is speaking to me, and I'm kind of speaking to you, but I'm speaking to Tiffany's husband. I forget his name. And Molly actually initiated this powwow between her and Issa, unlike Issa, who had been kind of the one trying to initiate it. What is your take on the season ending with that final scene and it seeming like those two coming back together from what we see?
Yes, I agree with what Shayla said. Like, you did get that sense of picking up where they left off, where a couple of the other engagements had seemed definitely forced. It was very clear. And so I'm getting Ethiopian food this week because I'm like, y'all show that restaurant twice.
They have good Ethiopian food in DC.
Oh yeah, there's as they would say, buzu buzu. There are a lot of places, but I go to Ched Ched. But anyway, there was something, and I also liked about, and it was something like similar to like when Issa found out. I'm talking about an earlier episode, but tying it all together. I like the fact that she did put like the friendship as sort of like the forefront of the theme. Like even y'all remember earlier on when she found out that Condola and Lawrence had broken up, there were a couple of episodes where Issa wasn't even thinking about Lawrence. And I appreciated that. Like, it wasn't that she didn't she didn't start harping on the information that she had heard. She was like, I'm still rocking with this block. I still got stuff to do. And Lawrence came for her. So I appreciated how it was like, there was this idea of like, let me focus on the friendship. And in terms of Molly, it's true. You know what I mean? You got your girls, you got your, I mean, for me, it's like, I have 3 sisters and a hardcore matriarch mother, but my friendships are so valuable. And we talk to the family about everything, but there are just certain things that you go into another layer of detail with just different friends in your life. And I'm like, that is such a priceless thing. But one scene that I was kind of like, duh, Issa, if y'all might agree, remember when they were looking for Tiffany in the movie theater, and then, you know, they're trying to get down to the bottom of it. So then when Molly's like, oh, well, maybe we should split up, and Issa looks all disappointed, I'm like, duh.
Yeah, that was weird.
Why would y'all be hand in hand going to the one concession stand here? But I mean, I guess the idea was to show like Issa is still like, I want to be close to Molly. But remember when she's like, I don't really fuck with Molly. If you think about it, she didn't really mean that. Remember when she was on the phone and she was like, I really don't fuck with Molly like that. There were really no other signs outside of her saying that really truly showed that she didn't fuck with Molly. She was down to meet up. Yeah. So, and which I think is good because you got to value those types of friendships.
So I think that is completely accurate. And I think that Issa definitely, it seemed to me like Issa valued her friendship with Molly more than Molly valued her friendship with Issa. But I think that the situation with Andrew saying the same things to her that she said to Issa kind of humbled her a little bit and kind of, like Shayla's point, knocked her down a peg. So I'm gonna go back to some of these comments, but this question, who was this season's MVP, is the final question I want to ask to close out the entire this recap and the season. And thanks y'all for joining us throughout this season. I think I started doing these recaps with y'all like episode 3 or 4. So thank y'all for sticking tuned for all these things. But let's see. I'm just gonna read a couple of comments off and then I'm gonna ask that final question again. Let's see. The Condola slander is a lot of the comments are spicy, y'all. Y'all can't see the comments, but the comments are very spicy. Let's see. I don't think Molly loves Andrew like Andrew loves Molly, so maybe this really isn't. Condola is messing with my headspace, man. I was okay with Condola until she ditched Issa after her and Lawrence broke up. I did not like that. Condolences can go bye-bye.
Condolences.
I always thought that was funny. I kind of feel like Molly used her man as a surrogate for Issa. She really wanted to be with Issa this whole time. Molly refused to speak to her daddy. She loves Andrew. Condola is being selfish by keeping the baby. She is not thinking of the baby at all.
Girl, fuck you. Who said that?
There
Keep
you go.
that baby, bitch. Y'all.
That's hardcore.
That's harsh. That's harsh. I don't think she's being selfish. I think when you lay down, when two people lay down with each other,
had sex, and she's pregnant.
Yeah, that's just the risk that you run. You know what you're doing. You know that's what happens.
If he was working at Best Buy, we'd be like, yeah. But because he finna go off, he finna go off and have this beautiful life in San Francisco, she's selfish. Girl, bye. Keep that baby, girl. Come on now, relax. Get that money.
Get money. Oh my God. Okay, I agree. Canola oil is just a nuisance. You may not.
Canola oil.
Someone call her conditioner in the.
You saw it. Okay, I didn't see the conditioner. Okay.
They said conditioner is just trying to have a competition. Something I think I saw.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Her hair was popping, y'all. It was juicy.
It was very pretty.
Juicy.
Okay. All right. I got to the. Ooh, somebody said this is a turkey baster, baby. Ooh, my goodness. Was it Melanie trying to trap Durin that one time? I know y'all watch season. You watch every episode of the game while you was getting your hair braided one time.
Anybody
I
who is
think Andrew
Oh no,
loves
that was
Molly,
maybe that
by
was
the
being
way.
Mary Jane. Being Mary Jane that happened.
anyone who is actively trying to conceive knows a turkey baster is too fucking big to hold any sample of sperm. Okay, so
Fact check, live fact check.
that ain't a turkey baster.
Live
It
medical.
ain't hard. It ain't hard to get a man to it's not hard. She ain't had to.
The nurse.
They
the
had
nurse-
sex.
The nurse.
Oh,
has-
Molly's special, by the way, her comedy special is good, y'all. If you haven't seen it,
Yes.
I
I
really
loved Mama.
I really enjoyed.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was so funny too. Right on, good.
While y'all sitting up there hyping up Dave Chappelle, hype up Black Woman too, Ivana Orgy.
Right. Oh, I watch it.
Straight like that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, all right. So we've gotten to the end. Okay, so let's start with you, Noelle. We're gonna end with season. So Noelle, Shayla, Monica, then season. Who was the MVP of this season?
You know, I like this question, and you know what? I'm gonna honestly have to say Andrew, because if you think about it, he was very present throughout the whole bit. He came through for Issa. I like the way that that's the type of guy I like. I like level-headed men that have style. You know what I mean? And I just think that there was something about him that was bomb. I think he's sexy too. Rebecca, she's like, you think? I'm like, hell yeah. Anyways, that's just anyways, yeah,
He has a black girlfriend in real life, so he definitely
yes, I did. Yeah, he
authenticity to the role.
Yes, but for me,
Lauren's got a white girlfriend or something like that. So
yeah, Lawrence's wife is white.
Ooh, say that.
Lawrence's wife is white.
and a white baby, and their baby's white mixed. So,
But yeah, so that's my MVP, and I just think that he was really, I mean, he was kind of a main character throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like I know someone made the comment that Molly didn't love him as much. I didn't really feel that they loved each other. I think they were really doing that. That's what probably that settled comment was when someone said Molly settles, almost like I don't really love you, but F it, I'll rock with you.
Yeah.
So, but he's my dude.
Okay, we got one vote for Andrew. Did I say Monica or Shayla next? Monica, you next.
oh, I will say the MVP for me was Nathan, and I say Nathan because circling back to what you said, Noelle, he was a direct connect with regards to like the block party and like finding a headliner, and I feel like he was level-headed in every situation with them even trying to be together, and then him coming back and like confiding in her about his illness, and then just like, okay, well, we're gonna be friends. Like I just feel like, and he wants to see her win, I feel like he wants to see her win more than some of her friends do, like and gassing her up like, yeah, you can do this, boo boo boo, than some of her friends that she's known for forever. So I personally give him the MVP award, and I'll say it, like I think he's still gonna, either way she goes with whatever happens in next season, is gonna really rock with her and hold her down, and I feel like he also holds her accountable too, so he's a good accountability partner.
I think that's Noelle, you gave an excellent case for Andrew. Monica, you gave an excellent case for Nathan. Shayla, who's your MVP?
Monica, I definitely think you gave an excellent case for Nathan. I think he would have been a strong runner up for me. However, Kelly for this season was my MVP because she ultimately held it down for the core group, the 4 girls, as being like the ultimate girlfriend, stepping in and intervening and, talking to Molly and also talking to Issa about repairing their friendship. She was always there at the important moments for Issa. as well as for what's the girl's name?
Tiffany?
Why can't Tiffany, exactly, just with her and her marriage and becoming a new mother. So I definitely have to give it for Tiffany. We all need a friend like that, especially when you're a new mother or you're going through, you know, differences with your friends. So I definitely appreciated her, and I see, you know, characteristics in my own friends in her. So I definitely have to give it to her.
You're welcome.
Great case. Okay, season. Who you giving the MVP to?
Man, Issa, come on now. Issa did the damn thing. She pulled out one of her most successful events that's gonna put her on the map. She's still in line to keep doing her thing. She got she got Lawrence to like forgive her for cheating. Then here he come with his bullshit or whatever. But you know, like she did her thing this season, and she gave me all that. She gave me the mama scene. She gave Molly that, okay, hopped in the cab, you know, like Issa did it for me this season. And I was real hard on her when the shit first started, but good job, Issa. And yeah, she did that. I definitely agree with all the points Noelle made. I definitely agree with all the points Monica made, but Issa took it from me. And same with you, Shayla. Who'd you say already? Girl, I forgot already who you mentioned.
Kelly.
Kelly. I love me some Kelly. I want more of Kelly because you're right. We do.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she is.
But I agree with everyone's points, but Issa, Team Issa, all the way.
Yeah.
Reese, where you at?
Without being said, it's always Team Issa for sure. But
Oh yeah, always Team Issa. But she gave me everything I was looking for this season. And then, you know,
my runner-up would be Issa's brother because he's hilarious as hell.
And you know what? I can't.
Their scenes together, I have to rewind them. I literally have to rewind them.
Yes, I love Issa's brother. Okay, sorry, my computer acted like a fucking asshole. Of course, all of a sudden at the last one. So everybody made persuasive cases. I missed part of your case season because my shit had to restart all over. But I am going to, before I get to that, I'm going to just read a couple comments and I'm gonna wrap it up with my thoughts because it's my shit, so I can wrap it up. Let's see. A lot of people, I would say this, ladies, every one of you, when you made your case, you had people agreeing with you. They said, great case for, I agree with Andrew. Great job, ladies. I'm glad I tuned in. I think Nathan as well. I can see that Nathan is cool. Kelly, great case for Kelly. I thought about Kelly, nice call. Somebody said Kelly was hardly there this season. I think that's unfortunate. We need more Kelly airtime.
We need more Kelly.
But she was the glue at many critical points. Kelly was hilarious. Kelly's my favorite character. Nathan is that dude. In the beginning, when she was talking about rearranging life for him, he gave a look like he wouldn't do the same. Issa is also my MVP. Somebody says, where's Chad? Dang, Chad is another great comedic relief person. You know, Chad is Lawrence's homeboy. He kind of,
oh yeah.
He said he had bought a car, even
Here's
though
a little trickster
downturn in the
himself.
front. Yeah, okay.
He helped him.
Little trickster.
Yeah.
Her brother was rude as hell, but that's with a smiley face. And Issa grew so much this season. Okay.
I saw you.
So I am going to co-sign, unsurprisingly, with my sister and say I think that Issa was, I know. But you guys gave very, 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 very persuasive cases. But I'm going to go with Team Issa. And the things that I really loved about what Issa did this season, number one, she came into her own. She definitely glowed up. But what I really liked about what she did was she really reflected a lot, and she owned her shit, but she also didn't, she knew what to like pick up and run with in terms of like, oh, okay, this is constructive, but this is also totally not accurate about me, in particular with her beef with Molly. But she has a spirit of forgiveness. She has a spirit of openness. She has very transparent and healthy relationships with everybody that she's with right now. And so I think that Issa is really, 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 she's on the right track, from that awkward Black girl to Insecure to still having healthy relationships with men. She didn't run to a man in every situation. Season 2, I think Season, you made that point that I think you said that you were happy that she didn't run, that the ending season wasn't, you know, with her going to Nathan or whatever else. So I think that she really experienced a lot of growth. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. And thanks to all of y'all. There are a lot of people that tuned in for this chat across the different platforms. So much great discussion. Because we're having a discussion, I couldn't read off all your comments, but thank you all for joining us. Cheers. I have just a little bit of sip left.
Salud.
Salud. Cheers.
And
Thanks for letting me jump on.
Yes, Noel, thank you so much. We're going to do this again for the next season. So cheers to Insecure. Cheers to everybody who watched it. Cheers to Black Girl Magic, to the sisterhood, to Team We All We Got, to Team Healthy Relationships. All of that shit.
These kids. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Team Have Your Baby, sis. How about that?
Have your baby, sis.
Team
Oh, that
Take that job in San Francisco. Fuck these kids. Whatever team that you want, go ahead and live your best Black ass life. Stay safe out here. We got COVID. We got cops killing Black people. We got all kind of shit, child. Just hold it together. And cheers to y'all out there. Y'all be good.
Cheers to you, moderator.
Cheers.
Tracy.
Pleasure, lady.